Hi.
Right?
Where?
She
On the
can't-
screen?
On the screen. She's my virtual planner.
Hi, Lindsay.
How are
Hi,
you?
everybody. Good, how are you?
I'm playing, guess the names.
Okay.
Let me go find my cheat sheet.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm good. If we have a place up there, should we sit by our name tag?
You can sit wherever you want, but you should sit at these tables. But you don't have to sit specifically where Lindsay said your name.
I think that makes all that trouble not sitting. So I wasn't lost.
Yeah, you can work, Jay.
Sure, not trouble. Yeah, I'm enough for me to actually speak to. We have neighbors.
I'm Alan.
Alan, I'm Patty.
You do?
I'm good.
Excuse me. Hi.
You're cool. Hi. Hey, hi, Gail. It's nice to meet you.
Let me, we got it over there.
Patty, you didn't bring your cohort?
Happy.
She on the board, is she on the advisory?
No, it's not allowed to be.
Oh, she might be listening in.
It's okay. Nothing I wouldn't say to her.
No, she's not.
She,
She had a big day today.
is she PT?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to serve on two boards, and it's just an planning commission. She could be on this.
So I'm gonna take it.
Al, why didn't, how come you're virtual? Are you out of town?
Oh, it doesn't look like she's on the meeting yet.
Uh, just accepted, you can say on.
Yeah, it'll have like a green light or this meeting.
It's just a test. It's testing. Don Thomas, man or myth? What's up? How are you? You better sit up there, go find your name.
Oh,
And go sit over there.
you got a spot, okay, come on.
Hello there.
Over here.
Oh, fantastic. I dressed up for the occasion.
And right up, about now, start. That's part of it. Let me just see if we're expecting anyone else. Is Ted online?
Doesn't appear he's online yet.
Sure. Should do some, Matt? All right. So, welcome. For those that don't know me, I'm Lindsay Hirsch. I'm the Community Development Director for the town. And our town planner is Jessica Hertzberg. She's online tonight. And
Hi, everybody.
she might look probably a little bit more recognizable than me because she was one of the students in our town project, which conveniently is going to feed into what we're going to do as part of our meetings in the future. So I think I owe you an apology up front. I know you're all anxious. I put this together 4 months ago, 3 months ago-ish. And I tried to delay it. Why did I try to delay it? Is because I was hoping to get the comp plan, which is currently underway by SE Group, to a point where I could start bringing that element, the open space trails element of the comp plan to you and start working off of that. That was my plan. We're a little bit behind on that portion. So I didn't want to delay it anymore. What I will say is I've never worked with a group of, what were we, 14? I think 14 or 18, 14. 16, we're a 16 member. So to me, that's a big group. With that being said, I think we can get quite a bit done. I'd like to start, if okay with you, to introduce yourselves, so we can sort of get to know each other. So, Jack? Or, Alan, I did that again.
Hi, I've been living in Keystone full time for the last 8 years now. We moved here from the Twin Cities where I was there for 14 years. I have an undergraduate degree in forest biology and a master's degree in food science and food technology. I spent 40 years in the functional food ingredient dietary supplement business. I am retired, semi-retired, my wife would say, because I'm still active in my industry. I also work with FDRD, working on the trails as a ranger, volunteer ranger, which is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Very much an avid conservationist and resource management type of person. Love the trails around here. I've sent a bunch of photographs on the past 8 years to Lindsay, and I think he likes some of them because he wants to use them at some point in time.
We'll be using them in any documentation that we do produce in the future.
And so got active in the outdoors through my scouting years and have carried it on, gosh, to now. And I'm 72 years old now, so still very excited about the outdoors. And in fact, Monday I'm climbing Peak One with a group from FWB. So yeah, looking forward to contributing, making a difference here in Keystone as far as open space and trail development is concerned. It's very near and dear to my heart. Thank you.
Patty.
Hi, I'm Patty Banks. I've been in Lebanon Pass Village since the '89. I thought it was gonna be my being in the house, and now I'm never moving, so I love it here. I pretty much made my career in the outdoors, so I'm always happy in the outdoors, and I guess I'm here to help and figure out this whole thing.
Hi, I'm Jack Wazarzak, been a full-time resident for about 7 years now. Been coming to Keystone for quite a while. Worked with Ralston Cleaner and then a spin-off for Holdings. And during that time, since they owned Keystone, many of our business meetings were out here. And then with Ralcor, I came out here on business frequently since I was the head of human resources, and we had about 2,500 employees here until we sold the Vale in '96. I love the outdoors, with climbing in my garden or in the common ground around our house most of the time. Improvement of the trails is something that's been high on my agenda for a long time. We frequently walk the trails and, you just always say, gee, wouldn't it be nice if, or wouldn't this be a good idea or that a good idea? And now I'm excited to be part of this initiative. So looking forward to it, looking forward to working with everybody. Elena?
I am Kalina Cohen, the Director of Mountain Operations at Keystone. I've been in the county for 3.5 years now. I am particularly excited about this work. My background is actually in biology. My degree in biology, master in epidemiology. And specifically in my role, I oversee trails, snowmaking, grooming, terrain parks, competition services, mountain dispatch, and tubing. But the trail side of it and the hiking, bike trails is something I've been doing in my career for about 12 years. I sit on the board of FDRD and love that, and it's my way of giving back to the community and our U.S. Forest Service partners. That is such a beautiful relationship with that nonprofit and our local agency. Working on 100% U.S. Forest Service land, strong partnership with all of our folks at the district office. And so excited to kind of bring that to Maui town.
Yeah.
I'm Kayla Brigger. I've lived in Keystone for 13 years. I'm a graphic designer. And my favorite part of Keystone is just the open space and all the trails, so I'm happy to be able to give back.
Don.
My name is Phil Dot Thomas, as old as I am. I think I'm the oldest guy in this room. Just a quick history for those who don't know. I've been here since a long time. My little cabin was built in '62. It's now surrounded by Durham's Dash and the alders. I think I've been here full-time working as a real estate professional since '99. And I think a part of, I've got about 20,000 miles of walking my dog in this valley. It's literally 20,000 miles, but that's 3 dogs that they wear out and then I keep going. But what I've seen is a whole lot of, from a real estate point of view, because Elby and I are in real estate, and from a real estate point of view, we can look at our community more objectively than a lot of people can. Because we see the rest of all of the county, and we see Grant County, Lake County, Park County, Chaffey County. And what I would love to be able to do is to continue to polish those facets of our valley that are uniquely wonderful. I mean, there's some really nice assets here, but they're better than Breck, better than Copper, better than Vale, but they're unique. And a part of that is the visitors interface with the natural amenities that are here. People don't get moose. They just flat don't get it. And what I would love to be able to do is to help guide this town in ways that will ease a visitor's interface with nature because it's uniquely close to Keystone. It doesn't happen this way at Vale or Copper. It just doesn't happen this way at Breck. Yeah, they get a moose down Main Street, but I have them in my yard all the time. So what I would love to do with this group is to be able to identify the key missing links in terms of our communication with our visitors. Figure out a way to allow them to access those places and to understand what's there. To really understand how they fit in that picture and take that home with them, you know, pollinate that with their friends from Nebraska or Minnesota or wherever they happen to be. But that I think is our job to do as ambassadors for nature itself. How do we help that interface be smooth, contiguous, and have them bring it home and let the next group come in with a better understanding of what Keystone has to offer. So that's my little speech.
Just to follow up on something you said, unique features in Keystone. How many of you know where there's a stone arch? Not as dynamic as in Utah, but right here, within walking distance of here, there's a stone arch. Have any of you ever seen it?
Never seen it.
It's on top of Porcupine. Now, there's no trail of Porcupine. You have to bushwhack it up. But just before you get to the top, coming from the, let's see, south side, is a beautiful stone arch. And if you're curious, I have a photograph. But I totally agree with you. There are so many unique things around here, but you have to get out and you have to really explore to find them. And I really want to see more open access to all of these unique features we have here.
Hey, Alan, does the arch have a keystone in it?
It does.
I'm LB Wilson and I'm a realtor up here and I've been up here full-time for about 9 years and I grew up in Wilton and I've come up here my entire life. And I'm here, I'm happy to help in any capacity, serve in any capacity that needs taken care of. I hope also, I think a large portion of this will have to interact with a lot of the HOAs. And I have I can do that very, very easily. And I know a lot of the people at HOAs, I think we're gonna need cooperation from HOAs when, you know, there'll be a lot of communication in that way. That's one potential way I can serve and I'm happy to do whatever needs to be done.
Bernie, you on?
He's on. I think you're muted.
All right, first I just showed you, now you actually get to hear me. So thanks, not my real background. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm Bernie Stevens. I retired last year, been a full-time resident up here for about a year now. Let's see, I've owned a place up here, or a couple of different places up here for the last about 8-9 years, but have been coming to Colorado all over the place for the last 60 years. So yeah, I use the trails almost daily. So I wanted to be part of this because I think like everybody else here, it's a matter of stewardship of making sure that, you know, we're able to utilize the space without destroying the space.
Thank you. Christy,
Hi, let's see, I'm trying to get on there. So I don't know if the camera doesn't seem to be working, but is my mic working?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I love this group. I love everything I'm hearing so far. I can definitely relate with my background. My location is Ski Tip, end of Keystone, so the far end there at Montezuma. And I've been there approaching a decade. And I relate with everyone on the call coming from a perspective that we are building a nature-based community or even nature-forward community. My accounting and background, business administration background is less like everyone's talking about. It sounds like we've got a lot of, just hands-on genius that I can't wait to collaborate with. But I do write grants and collaborate and support students to source fund their environmental action plans that are supporting what's a new thing in Colorado, which is especially in rural towns of Colorado like ours. It's called a seal of climate literacy. And they are just able to add that to their diploma with a couple of curriculum and an action plan. So I'd love to support more entrepreneurship, stewardship, and especially working with Keystone Science School, because I do for fun. This is where I do get my hands dirty, is the teaching of compost to all ages and schools. So I really feel like there's so much that we can do to restore as we enjoy, as it's been said. So I look forward to this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dan Johnson. I live down on Soda Ridge. Been here for about 5 years. Also working at the medical and Mountain House. I think just echoing a lot of same thing folks have said. I've just spent a lot of my life outside. Love doing as much of it as I can. Keeping that idea of responsible enjoyment of nature. And also to kind of echo, I apologize, I missed your name, but the gentleman that is a realtor. I think one of the things that we should really acknowledge is that we have a really good system that we're starting with. So that kind of gives us the idea of where do we want to go forth with this. And I guess one of the things I'd like to see is to encourage as much outdoor time and non-vehicular movement in our town as we can, but also keeping in mind the idea that I think there, I guess compared to other places in the county on, on some of the paths and stuff, I think that one of the issues I'd like to look at is basically understanding the idea of shared space, that that we can get pedestrians, kids, dogs, and bicycles all in the same place and try to do that in a very peaceful manner. So nice to meet you all. Thanks for being here.
Perfect. Matt.
I'll just keep it brief because I'm at work right now. But I've lived in Summit County for 10 years now. Worked for the resort, specifically Keystone, for about 8, and I'm currently a firefighter over in Eagle. But I'm stoked to be part of this team and looking forward to the opportunities.
Perfect. Mia. Mia's our quiet one. Yeah.
He's online, but maybe is having trouble with mic or camera or something.
Lindsay, did you say that Catherine wants to be admitted?
Oh, we let,
She's in now.
she is.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kathy. All right, so with all that being said, tonight's a little unusual, because you're brand new. Number one, I wanted to make the introductions, but two, kind of use this more of an administrative meeting. And to, I will tell you at the end of the day, we're gonna send you probably home with a little bit of homework for, whenever we meet next. So with that being said, I'm gonna let the introduction serve as the roll call. And I won't run the meeting just because we don't have a chair and vice chair yet. That is one of the things I do want you to think about, before we meet next time. Put some thought into it. Reach out to me if you are interested in, running the meeting as a chair. And I would also like a vice chair as well. As you see in the agenda, we'll prepare, something a little bit more robust, in the coming meetings. But we did prepare a very basic, mission statement. And I think that's in your packets. It's something I just want you to look at, certainly build on it. I don't expect to formalize that or that today, but I kind of wanted to get the ball going with regards to what we're going to be doing, in the future. And again, once the master plan or the Trails and Open Space portion of the master comp plan becomes available, we are going to vet that quite a bit with regards to how we're looking at things and what we want to accomplish. So with that being said, I did not introduce our town attorney, Jennifer Madsen. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. I'll give just a brief introduction of myself. I'm Jennifer Madsen, as Lindsay mentioned. I am the town attorney. And I've been with the town of Keystone since its inception. I helped the formation of the town all through the legal process and the multiple elections. I also worked with the Charter Commission to help draft the charter. And I'm excited to join you for this kickoff meeting tonight and look forward to supporting this board in any legal capacity you may have. I would suspect that you won't need me very much. And just want to say that you're in great hands with Lindsay and Jessica, and I'll be a resource whenever I can.
So along those lines, whether or not, I don't want to come across as too direct, but you will be an advisory, you are an advisory group. You're not gonna make any decisions, but collectively, depending on what topic we're on, I will bring what you come up with to town council. So you don't render any decisions by any means. You're a resource to staff and to town council. They were big. Again, I've never dealt with such a large group before. Typically, these things are usually about 7 people. Well, we've doubled it. That's okay. I have some pretty different ideas with how I'm gonna utilize you in the future with regards to breaking you up with different tasks and things like that, which I didn't have that opportunity elsewhere because the groups weren't big enough. With that being said, we did lay out some bylaws for you. Jessica did lion's share of that with Jennifer's assistance. And we just wanted you to take a look at those bylaws. And one of the things in the bylaws is how often are we going to meet? I don't know, but what are your thoughts? Collectively, I mean, initially I thought every other month because we have planning commission, we have council, but I know you're all very anxious and rightfully so. I would like we're not going to adopt the bylaws tonight, but I would like you to think about how often you would like to meet with regards to that. I mean, you don't necessarily have to answer tonight, but if you have any input tonight, I'd be more than willing to hear it. Does anyone have a feeling on that?
Will mostly the meetings be in the evenings like this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's helpful.
Yeah, I want to be cognizant of the people that work and, yeah, and online to get garner as much info as we possibly can. And I believe 5:30 on kind of works. Now, with that being said, I'm not a big fan of very long meetings. I think a 2-hour meeting is about the limit, that I'd like to accomplish, so 5:30 to 7:30, I think is more than adequate. Tonight will be much quicker, I think, because again, I just want to get you together and, start the administrative portions of, the responsibilities that, we will check.
As far as the timing, I read through the goals that were created from the planning process.
Mhm.
And there's some time metrics that are listed in those goals. So in understanding that, how does that fit with our role in promoting, working on, supporting those goals, and most importantly, the timing that was suggested?
So, great question. Just because whatever we come up with times to meet, it does not mean that we can't have some special meetings. So say something rises to the top with regards to some degree of urgency, we can have a special meeting. I think I can certainly accommodate that. But initially, I was thinking every other month, not to say that we couldn't meet next month, if the group wants to.
I wanted to offer some feedback. Is my mic working?
Yes,
This is Mia. Sorry, I checked every unmute button I could find and none worked, but now I see the one that does the trick. Regarding the number of meetings, I like the idea of every other month, because I think that keeps momentum going as opposed to say once quarterly. And I think that if we have subgroups, those could meet more often because I'm guessing that those would be more hands-on. And a very brief introduction, part-time, we have a condo at the Pines. I'm up 2 or 3 times a month, retired, and very interested in the shared paths and also paths that are safer for little ones and dogs without the bikes. And so I have been working on some social trails that could do that. But I'm real excited to be here. Sorry for not being able to speak when I was supposed to. Thank you.
thank you, Rick. Jennifer, do you have anything to add with regards to the bylaws? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I don't have much to add. Just want to say I reviewed them. I think they're in good shape. They're a pretty basic set of bylaws, but they will cover really what you guys need to have a good working group and good understanding of how you work together.
Does anyone have any questions with regards to the bylaws? All right, so I would like you to review them before we meet next time, and you can take it to the next level with regards to the bylaws by adoption at the next meeting. So with that, back to Jennifer, procedures. And because this is an advisory group, I'd like to run it a little bit looser, but with that being said, we do need to follow procedures and protocols. And that's where Jennifer is going to keep me in line with regards to Bob's rules of order and how to run the meeting. Does anyone have any experience, by the way, with regards to running public meetings? So Patty said she would like to. So that's all right. We're going to give you a script, whoever the chair and vice chair are. So we're not going to let you just flounder. But with that, we will, Jennifer, do you want to hit some big ticket items with regards to that, or is that premature?
Maybe a little premature. I think it would be helpful if they could review a meeting procedure, the guidelines or the rules. I will say that I think Bob's rules of order might be too robust for this group. And so let me see if I have something that is more simplified than Bob's rules of order for this group.
That'd be wonderful. I think it's more warranted because they're not rendering any decisions. Jessica, have I missed something?
I think with procedures, it might be good just to talk about what we expect the position of the chair and the vice chair to be. So we can kind of talk about how meetings will be led, who sets the agenda, things like that.
All right. Again, until we form the next agenda, it's a little bit difficult, but we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna give you a cheat sheet, if you will, on how to run a meeting and the roles and responsibilities. I need a chair that is strong and can herd the cats, if you will. That would be useful. But with that being said, you know, we'll give you the tools you need in order to run an effective meeting. Again, I want you to do some thinking with regards to the meeting schedule and how often you want to meet. I would be willing to meet this time next month in order to, you know, set what we would do next, and also kind of go over some of the homework we're going to give you. All right, does that cause anyone any problems? Can someone, do you have the calendar in front of you? What is the meeting date, month from today?
So there's 5 Thursdays in July, so instead there would be 4 Thursdays next month, so it would be the 28th of
Yes.
August.
In tentatively, do you think a majority of you can make the 28th?
Lindsay,
I'm
do you
gonna-
want to go next month or 2 months
Yeah,
from now?
next month. Yeah, let's do the 28th. Yeah, and then at that point in time, we'll determine, we'll approve the bylaws and determine if it's every other month or something else. But I do want you to put some thought into that and be prepared at the next month's meeting in order to get us kind of finalized with regards to the schedule. Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. This is where Jessica shines. As you're aware, she was on the RTAP team. And that's the homework we're gonna send you, not necessarily homework, we're gonna send it out within the next couple of days. Basically, if you recall, there were 3 phases of RTAP. The first was the goal setting, the second was the actions that need to be, and third is the implementation of those actions. And I apologize for oversimplifying it, but basically that's it in a nutshell. Now, within those implementation strategies or actions, interestingly enough, a lot of those revolved around open space and trails. So Jessica is in the midst, she's probably done with it, but in the midst of pulling those actions out. And that's what I'd like to at least start talking about at the next meeting. So that will be your official agenda item. There could be some other things, but that's how I'd like to get you started with regards to it. And I think it's gonna feed really, really well into SE's group's work on the comp plan as it relates to Charleston open space. So I don't know why I'm so lucky, but I am, and I think that is gonna work out really well.
Lindsay, when you say the SC, is that the people doing the comp plan?
That is correct, SE group, yes.
Civil engineers, right? Civil engineers.
They do other things, but yes. From your world, on the mountain.
Yeah.
Yes,
Great group to work with.
Oh,
Environmental assessment.
now we're very, very, very fortunate, and we're making some pretty good progress. Right now, we're still in that, public, garnering public input. And in fact, if any of you are around this weekend, we're going to be doing some of that, at the Bluegrass, Bruce and Bluegrass, is that it?
Here in Bluegrass.
Here it is. Here it is.
Worked earlier today and I was like, that's a wild day.
So we're gonna have and we're gonna try to garner some more input, and I'm guessing a lot of that input is gonna be regarding Charleston open space. And I forgot who said it here, we're so fortunate, truly are. We certainly have the mountain, but the trail network here, how it's developed over the years is really, really interesting. The good part is most of it, a lot of it is established. The bad part is it's a little fragmented. It can be improved. I think that's one of the things we're gonna be working on. And once you start looking at those action items from RTAP, I think that's gonna kind of funnel you in a certain direction with how we're gonna prioritize what we're gonna be doing. So again, I'm very lucky. Jess, do you have anything you want to add on that?
I think with RTAP, I will send out the community action plan again so that everybody has access to that. And also some notes just about pulling out which actions mention the Trails and Open Space Advisory Board as leaders or supporters in those actions. And I think what would be great is if everybody could read through that and start thinking about which actions you think should be the priority for us to start with. And maybe start thinking about what you know already to get started on those things.
So our next meeting is gonna be a little bit more formal, but we're gonna really kick off with the next meeting. Anyone have anything to add?
Just that, coming into this and there's lots of abbreviations for a lot of everything and like the civil engineering group. If there's abbreviations for names, I'd like to know.
Snow engineering.
Snow engineering, okay, thank you. Just, things like that, because that kind of goes over my head and I miss,
But
I miss the context.
thank you, we'll be cognizant of that. Once we start writing you memos and things,
Okay.
we're pretty good at defining what everything is.
An RTAP, Rural Technical Assistance Program.
Thank you.
Very good.
And so the part that's gonna be really fun and somewhat challenging, I think, is going to be. So what's going on right now is we're developing an inventory of what the county had and what other groups had. And trying to categorize it and start evaluating what we have and what we don't have. So we're in the sort of the midst of doing that. So for instance, the rec path, fairly well defined. So absolutely could be better laid out, and maybe that's what we do. The community path, the one that goes on this side of primarily this side of the river. Fantastic development potential for improvement. And we'll be talking about that. And, Jess and I have already had some conversations on some really interesting ideas. Christie had some great ideas as well, with regards to pocket parks and things like that. So I'm pretty excited, with regards to moving forward.
Is there a catalog of existing trails plus potential trails? I've done so many trails around here, but I don't know if all of them have an equal proportion of development potential.
Right. And so we're gonna start with the basics, from a legal perspective. What is ours? What isn't ours? And then we're gonna work from there, and we're gonna further define the possibility of developing additional trails. And this is where I'm gonna kind of, I told myself I wasn't gonna let you guys stray, and here I am. The other part of it is we are absolutely surrounded by USFS. And I think there are going to be part of the responsibilities. I think you're gonna see this when we start delving into some of the action plans or action items. That some improvements and connectivity with regards to USFS the trail system. Some really good input came from RTAP with regards to that. And I think we're gonna build on that. So very small scale, like little pocket parks, ways to improve the existing pathways, ownership patterns and things like that. And all the way to working with the USFS. So they're very excited. I just have to figure out how to manage 14 or 16 of it with regards to that. So does anyone have any questions for me?
Christy has
Sure.
a question on here.
Hi. Yeah, I was just curious about, just a little bit of something we could start doing on our own. And I don't know, you can let me know if this is appropriate, but I'm looking just with the tenacity or the vision, the leadership of like Ernest Shackelford. I don't know if you're familiar, but he was, just a great leader and really had engagement in mind. So what I'm eager to do is to get positive engagement for myself and our community in this. And so just to start with our team, would it be appropriate, because seasons happen very quickly in our town, and especially the summertime where we are, it's almost over. And so would it be appropriate that we go ahead and take photos? Mia and I had done a little bit of trail activation, just trying to go from the lakeside away from there and back in a couple of directions. So, just to ask, at which, like I said, I'm kind of already doing this. I was just wondering what everybody else would gather if they took photographs. Because again, if we're looking for the tenacity or the endurance for all the seasons, I believe we need photographs of our favorite and potential trails in each season for this first year, just to kind of creating, even if it's a photographic map, just to start, just throwing it out there.
Absolutely no problem with that. Initially, it scared me that, for the horse, but with that being said, basic information, we're gonna be utilizing that over the course of us meeting. So I have no problem whatsoever gathering the information. What I would be apprehensive is taking it to the next level. But certainly in the inventory and developing a database, if you will, I'm all for, and if it's seasonally based, that makes perfectly good sense to me as well.
Cool.
Also, do you need a now or in the future seasonally based, like some kind of, do you have photography for the trails above? Drone photography or anything like that?
All right, so we have some base information. It's GIS,
Okay.
Geographic Information System.
Okay.
See how I did that? And we'll probably start with that.
Okay.
It's a great tool and it can be built upon. And Jessica actually is researching on what form, what version to get that'll be most useful for the town. And the data that we're getting from the county will come over in that form as well. All right. I was worried that I was gonna have trouble keeping you guys, focused and in line. Thank you very much. So with that being said, thank you for the first meeting. Since we don't have a chair, vice chair, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, wait, Lindsay, can I just say one thing, or just to give a little bit of overview on the open meetings law?
Oh, please.
Okay. This just came to mind when, Christy, I heard that you were working with Mia on something that it's important for some legal education related to Colorado law as it applies to public bodies, which does include the Trails and Open Space Advisory Board. So as a public body, you are governed by the Colorado Open Meetings Law. And what that means is that when you all meet, the town has to go through a process of noticing that meeting. Notice is provided on the website. Your agenda is listed. The notice must be sent out 24 or must be posted 24 hours in advance of the meeting. Town staff does a great job and puts it out well in advance of that, but the law requires 24 hours advance notice. In addition, you must allow the public to attend the meeting. So anybody could come to the town hall and come to your meeting. Anybody can come online and join your meeting. You don't have to allow public to participate in your meeting. You just have to allow the public to attend. Those meeting requirements apply when you have 3 or more members of your group that are together and you're talking about public business related to your Trails and Open Space group. And so when you get together outside of the meeting, you really want to be mindful of only 2 of you getting together at one time. If there are more of you getting together, then your meeting needs to be open. So say you're at a coffee shop, you need to allow other people to join you. We can go into this a little bit more if you guys are forming subcommittees as to how that would all work and what type of notice would be required of those meetings. But just be mindful of that getting together outside of the meeting for now, I would recommend that you limit that to 2 of you at a time. The other thing is communications between members of this committee. Those are also subject to the open meetings law. So the General Assembly has said that electronic communications between members of a public body constitute a meeting if you're talking about substantive matters. So emails back and forth about substantive matters related to public business, those are a meeting. Obviously, you cannot let members of the public join in those email conversations. And so if you have a back and forth conversation, that's a violation of the open meetings law. So you got to be careful about your emails, and I recommend that you not engage in email conversations with one another about your advisory board here.
So, yeah, don't start emailing each other. If you have something, it's okay to email me individually, but don't start emailing each other. Oh, I have a great idea, or do you know about this trail or whatever. Let's do that in the public setting.
Yeah.
Jennifer, does that also apply to text messages as well?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it does. It does apply. And the idea is that you're a public body and the public expects that its business and work is done in the open and not hidden.
And on that note, request for information is what they're called when the public wants to release that. If they have been at a pretty rapid incline in the last year and a half, probably due to political instability in some places. So it is not uncommon. I've had,
Yes.
Yeah, few this year.
Yeah. Yes. So aside from the open meetings law, there's another Colorado statute called the Open Records Law. And you all may have heard of either the Open Records Act or the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. which is a federal law, but the town has to comply with the Colorado Open Records Act, which does mean that your emails could be subject to an open records request. So emails about public business, I don't imagine that you'll be emailing each other or the town too often, but just keep that in mind that your emails could be requested by the public and then viewed as well.
So will you be providing us more detail on this? Because I'll just speak for myself, it's not intuitive at all.
Yeah, it's not.
Focused on trying to accomplish a task and you're about the business. To think about how you communicate, to whom you communicate, no more than 2 at a time, things like that really has to be emphasized, at least to someone like me. And maybe there's others that feel the same way.
Yeah, if it would be helpful, I'm happy to put together a cheat sheet for you all on the Open Meetings Law and Open Records Act.
That'd be wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, technically, I don't think I'm even allowed to make a motion, but I did, to adjourn. Let's practice. Anyone want a second?
Second motion.
All vote, all in favor? Wonderful, thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Night.